worth of trading losses have been occasioned in the first 9 months of this year. As a caucus, when we run our numbers, we can project that it's going to get to about $300 million by the end of this year. 214 million in losses under the Gold for Reserve scheme is just 9 months. But there are a few other issues under that we want to draw your attention to as part of our preliminary remarks. First is to explain to you how these losses are being occasioned. Small-scale miners will not sell unless they are paid true global market prices, even if a slight discount is given to them, and at an exchange rate which the forex bureaus use. Second, the gold board therefore has to pay miners at real market value. However, gold board then sells the dollars it receives from offshore buyers back to the Bank of Ghana at the BOG or interbank rate, which is a weaker rate. Gold board protects its books by passing the exchange rate losses directly onto the Bank of Ghana. So this is not a market fluctuation problem. This is a system that is designed to make losses and for the state to bleed, so intermediaries will remain secure and profitable. For those of you who recall, when the Gold Board Act was being passed, we extensively outlined why the regulator should be decoupled from a commercial entity that could do this and make profit. And you recall that we suggested that it would be better to have a limited liability company with capital so that this doesn't happen. This is exactly what has happened now, and so far, $214 million of loss, going towards $300 million by the end of the year. The third issue that we want to draw your attention to. This is not how the original structure of the Gold for Reserves program was designed. Now let's remind the nation about what the original structure was. It was a sovereign reserve building tool to help Ghana accumulate physical gold, strengthen our balance sheet, reduce reliance on foreign currency borrowing, and gradually stabilize the cedi. Under the original design, which was introduced by the NPP, Ghana's reserves increased from 8.7 tons to 31 tons in just 2 years. And no losses accrued because BOG bought physical gold directly for its reserves and not through intermediaries like some of who we have outlined, and not for speculative purposes. Now the model has been changed, contrary to the advice and all the advocacy that we did. And the Bank of Ghana, under the new structure, under the reset, they have ceded their mandate to the Gold Board, and Gold Board has also ceded to a private company, Power Limited, which now operates primarily as a trading company, not a reserve builder. And the moment we shift from holding strategic gold to trading gold, pricing and FX risks will appear. And the taxpayer in the end is the one who has to pay the $300 million at the end of the year. Now, despite unprecedented volumes of gold passing through Gold Board, our reserves have increased only from 31 tons to 38 tons, which undermines the past 22%, just 7 tons after all this theater. Under the MPP, without this theater, we increased by 256%. This is not prioritization of reserves. It's prioritization of rent seeking. This is where media attention should be focused. And that's why we're saying that these are preliminary remarks that we are beginning to draw your attention to, and we'll share more with you as we go along. Now, for those who just hear $214 million or $300 million and consider it just as a figure, let us refuse the temptation to treat this matter as an abstract number. $214 million, that is from the beginning of the year to September, not the full one. You could have built 12 fully equipped Agenda 111 district hospitals, which the MPP started and which this administration has refused to continue so far. It could have built 30 modest hospitals or 40 to 60,000 boreholes in many villages across this country, providing clean, safe water to villages, schools, clinics, and farming communities. $214 million could have employed many teachers and nurses who are struggling to catch the eye of the government to pay or to issue the necessary financial clearance so that they could be recruited and paid. So when the government tells you that they have lost $214 million, it's not just a number. It's jobs, it's roads, it's people's lives that they have lost. But that is not the full story. Again, if you will remember, when the Gold Board Act was being passed, we spoke extensively about the need for traceability so that Ghana's money will not be used to fund the purchase of Galamsey gold. Now, while the financial tragedy unfolds, another crisis is deepening. Illegal mining is continuing at unprecedented levels. You are observing on your television sets the destruction still of our forests and water bodies. Yet, we are told that the purchase that is going on is not a purchase of Galamsey gold. If you check the data, the export numbers by the large-scale exporters hasn't changed much. And today, there are no other exporters in town except the Gold Board. So who is buying the Galamsey gold? It's a question out there that as we go along, we will begin to point direct answers to. What is even more worrying is that in the face of this devastation, what we are seeing are statements being issued from the Gold Board and the Bank of Ghana trying to obfuscate. They rely on some words in the original IMF draft to suggest that this is speculative or that this is a significant downside risk. We must be clear. A loss of $214 million has already been made. It will be about $300 million at the end of the year. And the people of Ghana cannot be taken for fools by some long-winded statements seeking to parry this tragedy away. Colleagues, the truth about this government is that they have not introduced any superior economic ideas to governance. All that they've been doing is rebranding, renaming all things that have been done, and sometimes even hiding the details until we, in the minority, call it out for the Ghanaian public.
They try to Ukraine and no issue. I don't know. So when you economy no when said that for before be a mine and BBC and the and no dear and no cannot before Munya. Well, because you see the fact that 1 year no 1 year here Korano dollar is saying. Yes, no.
Around 11 cities.
And no crazy be a 1 year. There hasn't been anything magnanimous.
Yeah.
Nothing big has been done. What I said, nothing big. They've not established any bank, Women's Bank and buy.
And buy yet.
Women's Bank and buy, Vice President Netisu. On a young woman. Who say? Ogusu. And see, I no crap, saying. And no crap, my just nothing magnanimous. But dollar is saying. Fang more, you're saying.
I drop it.
On them saying. The results of what you decided to do when the economy was going down, when you got into crisis, was gold for oil. Remember?
Yeah.
That was your resolution or solution to the economic crisis we were in 2022.
Yes.
Because the dollar was just skyrocketing anyhow.
Yeah.
And my Nippon supermarket, they couldn't even price their product.
And even because at some point, Dr. Bamiakra Beka said, "Na Oslo se economy."
During some of the series, as flag bearer of the NPP, explaining why our economy was in that crisis.
Yeah.
No, my there be any do be so say ya kon homesika kura no just obi de nisika beka once afie.
Yeah.
Talk of projects near there ya kon homesika o. To be a salaries kura no problem. That no beka kokobody e kire o. Say wonu nisika wodie wonya no. A new salary grant here, so couple bisika or the air juma a cost salary. On my idea, no. Eh, do baby, a kaya dear to say a sample busia, a told him great Yakano, and see one.
In see one dozen.
Yes, Uncle Babosia Triensi won, not Canada. Nabosia, I quite ready to Triensi won, and also see who. That is where we got to. And your solution, so that the country doesn't collapse totally, was God for oil.
Yeah.
There was no proper explanation as to how it was done, or even there is just a result. And now, yeah, to saying how the transaction, how it was.
Obiama information.
The transaction itself, near the same.
Obiama.
Yeah, Cocoton gold, no wine there, tongue. Wine the Togo, no, a hair fan, or a tongue, or a cotama.
No,
normally I'm aware because in Ghana buying a tofango. You want more tofango, Manonia. One with the blame my idea, Jumaha. And to say a whole tree and nothing on the Cosrona, economy collapse near the gold bear. Why not cotton and why not cotos I found one or the Amahua? Say in between now, Oppong Nkrumah was some said, nay, gold bond in between be, yeah, there are many public open auto, now in between no, and same because we're on the side in between us at time there, Cosso. I don't know yet, it wasn't.
Obiam boy Munkomo, Obiam boy Munchimo.
And nay, so on fashion car economy, I buy and twas what? So on fashion car who are near, no, dollar saying
11.
And then you should dear. Yeah, they are near economy soon.
At least.
Nipa do one or more economists is our pocket, my mini pack.
I'm up on a work from
some economy now, Moka was some young Tiasia.
I'm up on a work from
Domestic debt, foreign debt, wine debt, young Ghana for the Nimado crop. Mediana said, down no make America. No tickets, no. Yan tomb. Tickets now in dollars, yan tomb. But now, son say $1 na cost through Bebre Benti. Now, Mrs. Seska Bebre, Nam dia koto ticket back. And ya me to tickets, maybe. The same amount of money. Mrs. Sense, Kaki to Abby. And I'm the toy, the same Ghana city now.
And Ray and Atoya.
I check a crap.
And a Benaoko.
I'm sure.
As we try to.
Why you say I was so nice? We will be able to kind of carry forward that. And you, woman, in Benwa. Look out, crowd. We the same day, I bet on 22,600.
As we try to.
We can carry forward that. Look, I know. To me, be 1,003. Uti ya but me be 900.
Obi a utu
kan. It me strategic.
In 6 months time.
No, me very strategic. Because next year me nim the dollar me kwa kodu. Nti we ya no about what when you any. Enya ba from pedo I fast. Ko am mo calculation ne sa wa hwe be o ka bebo ka osim.
Sir.
Enti na me menya mfaso ho. Enti how they did it? Whether they just a kwa mfa mo me adwadi ni na mkota de a kwan o mo fa so mo fa hwe be ka ho no mfa me
na ebo na ba fom na me tia tomade ye nko ade me yo
okay be a businessman na me kota de na da no me koto no me sesa 16 me fa 16 Ghana cedis na me asesa $1 na me sesa 10 Ghana na 11 Ghana na me nya $1 me sra de kan me mpatie say wonya hwe wo economy e fa me ho because me I don't understand this economics what dey nkomo na me no
yeah sure yeah.
But if there are transactional losses, as we are buying and selling gold, just to make sure the economy is still stabilized, yours was gold for oil. Theirs says we want to show our gold. Your gold no dosso.
Dosso bibire.
Na ya to be na control near cotton gold ni bi nya dollar na ya hwehwe no e tete ye okurom ha no. E de to wo se be ya ye ho be hare yen. And until yes, yeah, cotton and faso. Yeah, Tony and $1 na boy dready for a boy economy na stabilizer. It's something.
Yeah.
Is it not something?
Yeah.
If gold for oil or something, gold bond is also something. Munya classroom at the treno.
Everyone say
Munya classroom at the treno.
Everyone say omo good for oil no. Omo into me account to us.
What I say?
In any way.
Obi my accounting.
But way by
there might be losses.
There might be losses.
Let's sit as Ghanaians and talk like Ghanaians.
Yes, of course.
And discuss things without passion.
Yeah, without emotion.
Dispassionately. And let's see where the problem is and see if we can solve it. Some of it is unsolvable.
Yeah.
Ebi wa house of here because so ko ye hedging. Who did that? Edru baby na fango ye hedging. wo hedge na ne bo no kura akosoro a wo de ya wo ton wa ha wo dumi nya ho fa so
of course
so ko hedge cocoa ko hedge gold say for a business etumi ko from na etumi ba soro
say na man wo ya means that a risk na we take
yes it's not just you want to economic wise no ebi wo gold no to me tia ba from but why head here it doesn't affect you
okay good
etumi so ko soro enti ye bi ho na hwe na ade na tete ba from rough utumi bo head ba head na etumi tefa wo so say gold na start say right here
atisima aha
enti anu no wo to na aboden wa ha na okoton a wa head nti wa hwe ade oto wa ha no nya hu ska
go against you nti no nche say ebia
ba obenya dollar ta ba fie
ha obenya bet unya no duro no
say na open
good
ba unya no duro say dey open ba obenya dollar na betimi aboa
we
ma dollar na stabilize kakra
I say ye buy ye almost see a car ye den because dollar na a dropping into no
you can so automatic because ka dodo obesesa
good
e de akotua wo ka no e swat sin dodo anka obesesa when the dollar was high enti automatically no sika na e ka wo de no e so beti enti ya mo nche dwadini economists munya classroom de no classroom professors e wo kroma me mu wo ne boan